This video is intended to be an introduction to the advisor role in SSC. When we're done, you should be comfortable navigating the platform. That includes having your availability set up, having your Google Calendar integrated with SSC. You should feel comfortable visiting and navigating the student pages, know how to schedule appointments, and also know how to report on those appointments. I encourage you to open SSC side by side with this video and follow along. Some users will have multiple roles on this site. So if you're looking at a different homepage, click the caret and toggle over to Advisor Home. This is the page that you will see when you begin. Scroll through and take a look at all that's there. The first button is the Home button, and that will bring you back to this screen. Then you have Conversations. In Conversations, you will find messages and emails sent and received through SSC. These will provide a paper trail of sorts. Then you'll have the calendar. This is your SSC calendar, and we will explore it later in this video. Campaigns are a great way to schedule appointments with many different students at once. This feature will be explained in a later video too. You'll have reminders, advanced search. Instead of searching for a student by name, here you can search by different and multiple parameters, including major, GPA, course enrollment, and predicted level of support needed. If you save those searches, you'll be able to find them in the List and Searches tab. This will also be discussed in a later video. The last thing to look at on this bar is the institution report page. Depending on your roles and permissions, you may have access to reports on trends and patterns in graduation rates, on how and which courses contribute to and predict student success, and reports on changes in major. Back over here at the top navigation bar, we'll start with students. You can see a list of students that are assigned to you and take several actions. You can also scroll down and see recent advising appointments. Over on the right side, there are quick links to issue alerts, schedule general events, access appointment campaigns, and you can see upcoming appointments at the bottom. Now we're going to click over to My Availability, and we're going to set up your availability. The first thing you're going to want to do is edit appointment constraints. This top one lets you require a minimum amount of time between a student scheduling an appointment and when the appointment takes place. Then you have your default appointment length. You can choose between 5 and 90 minutes, and this will be the default length when you schedule appointments. Checking this box will mean that students will only be able to schedule appointments with you on days that you have designated as available to meet students. Then click Update Constraints. To set up an availability, you will click the Actions caret and click Add Time. It brings up this box. It's pretty straightforward. Say Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You are available from 9 a.m. until noon. You click on those days and then drag the sliders into place. If you're setting up availability for appointments, then click the Appointments tab. The duration refers to how long this availability is accurate. For just this semester, click Spring 2017-18. If it's just for a specific amount of time, you can select a range of dates. And if it's indefinite, you can click Forever. For the location, if you're advising in your faculty office, you can click Faculty Office. Now select the student services that you're available to provide. You can enter any additional details you like, and then click Save. Now you can see your availability. The next thing you can try is to select and click Copy Time. This will save most of the parameters from the original, but say you want to have an availability from 2 to 3 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You will have to adjust the duration, but everything else stays exactly the same. Click Save. Now you have availability from 9 to noon and from 2 to 3 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you discover that you made a mistake, like you're actually only available from 1 to 2, you can click Edit and change it to reflect your availability. If something changes in the semester and you're no longer available at that time, you can select, click Actions, and delete that time. Now we're going to talk about the calendar in SSC. On the left side menu, click on the calendar icon. This is a quick way to view upcoming appointments. On the top, there are different filters that you can toggle on and off, and you can view the calendar by day, week, or month. If you hover over an appointment, you can see more information about it: the date, time, location, and the people attending. Because you will create appointments in the SSC platform, it's important that you integrate your Google Calendar. This will allow students or other faculty and staff members to schedule appointments during only your available times. To integrate, click on the Subscriptions tab, go to Setup Free Busy Integration, then click Connect with Google. Click on your DePauw email address, and then click Allow. Select the calendar that you want to sync, and then click Save and Update. It's going to take a second to sync, but when it's done, you should be able to click back over to your calendar and see appointments imported from Google as busy. Now we're going to explore the student profile. The student profile is at the center of SSC, and it's important to get comfortable moving around it. From the home screen, you can click on an assigned student or go up to the right-hand side and click Quick Search and type the student's name. In this gray box, you can get a sort of gut check. You will see the number of courses that the student has gotten a D or an F in, the number of courses the student has repeated, the number of courses a student has withdrawn from, and if you click the caret, you will see a list of these courses as well as the term in which the course was withdrawn from. That goes the same thing for the D and F and repeated courses. You will also see the number of missed success markers and the student's cumulative GPA. If you click on the caret, you can see the overall GPA and the institution GPA. For most students here, that's going to be the same thing. On the lower left-hand side of this box, you can see the total number of credits earned, the credit completion percentage at this university, and the predicted level of support that the student will need to graduate in 4 years. Green is a prediction of a low amount of support needed, yellow is moderate, and red is high. Below, you will see the current major of the student, their year, and their most recent semester of enrollment. If you click the caret, you can see their full major history. Below is some additional information about the student, including assigned advisors, class dean, and different tags for the student. for example, first gen, student athlete, or Greek unaffiliated. These are helpful when using the advanced search function in SSC. On the right side, you can see if there are any alerts that staff has put out for the student. Below, you can take several actions. You can message the student if you want there to be a record of the interaction. You can add a note on the student for all advisors to see. You can add a reminder to contact the student. You can report on an advising appointment if the student dropped in. You can schedule an appointment, or you can issue an alert. Below is a link to the advising transcript, and that will open up a transcript in e-services in a new tab. Usually here there will be a picture of the student. We've taken it out for obvious reasons. Another helpful function on this page is the student view. If you would like to show the student something on their profile, you can toggle it on and off, and it will get rid of some of the information about the student, including actions and the level of support. Now, click over to Success Progress. Here you can see at the top if there are any missed success markers. You can also see GPA trends by term. It's helpful to see how individual semesters have affected their overall GPA. Below, you can see a bar graph of credits earned each semester. And then a more detailed chart of all of that information. Now scroll back up and click over to Class Info. Here you will see information about current classes, professors, and if a student has a midterm grade, it'll show up here. Below is a record of all of their semesters here at DePauw. And on the right side of that is a useful feature where you can see the term at a glance. So you'll see credits per semester, the completion percentage, term GPA versus cumulative GPA, and their academic standing. Scroll back up, and on the right side, click Schedule an Appointment. Select the type of appointment. You'll use advising appointment. A general appointment would be something that the student has to attend, but is not related to their academic career. For reasons, it'll naturally populate with something, but click X and select the reason. You can advise for multiple reasons in one session. For this one, we'll choose course selection. In the comments box, you can put different instructions for the students. If you are requesting that a student brings an academic plan, or if it's the first time meeting with a student and you need to let them know where your office is, you can put that here. For location, you can select faculty office or the specialty location that you're in. If you've set up your availability, it will show up here. You can click select and then choose the length of time for the appointment. Now you can select a time slot. Mutually available times will show up in green. If this appointment is for a week in advance, you can click on that on the left side calendar and say you want to set the appointment for Tuesday at 11:30. You can click the box, scroll down. There's an option to repeat it if you like, but you can just click save. You should quickly receive an email letting you know that an appointment has been set up. And on the day of the appointment, you and the student will both receive an email reminder. Now we'll talk about advising reports. If you are reporting on a scheduled appointment that has already happened, scroll down on the homepage and click the box next to the appointment that you want to report on. Click Actions, go to Add Advising Appointment. This will open a box. Most of the fields will already be populated. If you are reporting on a drop-in appointment, you will have to enter that information manually. For meeting type, you can select in-person. You could also select email if you've emailed the student and want to have a record for it. Then you can scroll down. If you want to note that the student was 5 minutes late, you can change the time that they arrived. Now the appointment summary. Here you'll want to enter any notes that are pertinent to the advising session, include topics discussed, and guidance or advice given. It's important to know that advising reports are shared between all advisors with access to the student's records. These reports are considered an official part of the student's educational record defined by FERPA, and the students can request to inspect their educational record. Guidelines. Record clear, professional, and relevant information. Documentation should be objective, concise, and avoid judgments or value statements. Include information that will be helpful for future appointments, including policies, procedures, requirements, deadlines, etc. that were discussed and shared with the student. Focus on information pertaining to the student's academic progress, situation, or questions. Leave out details regarding medical, personal, or other sensitive issues. Below is a link to more in-depth guidelines on this topic. At the bottom, you can suggest a time for a follow-up appointment and also add attachments such as a semester plan that you think will be helpful for future advising records. Then click Save.